Though I was originally supposed to give this tale not so long ago last month for its recent 30th anniversary, here it is at long last as I bring to you a re-review of Batman Returns. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings my fellow YouTubers, welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Now I kind of made my intro just a little different, kind of want to make it sound like you are hearing the bat or something like that. But I might have done it wrong, but it's okay. Anyway, this time around, I bring to you a re-review of the 1992 superhero flick Batman Returns, released by Warner Bros., directed by Tim Burton, produced by Denise Denalvi and Burton. The film's the sequel to the 1989 film, which I'll go ahead and put a card up in case you want to revisit that review, which did well, so I didn't think about re-reviewing the original again, the first film again. Now I might re-review the others and the first one maybe sometime down the road, but I want to try and re-review this since the original review of this didn't do too well. Now I'm hoping for the best. That's going to change. So if you've already clicked on that card, and if you didn't click on the card to see it, well, tough luck. You're stuck with this. Anyway, the film stars Michael Keaton back in the role as Bruce Wayne and the titular character, along with Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken, Michael Gove, Pat Hingle, Michael Murphy, and Vincent Schiavelli. Well, a few years have passed since the Bat took out the Joker, but now a new figure comes in. Mysterious Penguin, who plots to kill all of the children's firstborn sons while dealing with Max Schreck, a corrupt tycoon who allies with the Penguin to bring Gotham under his control, and Catwoman, who seeks vengeance against Schreck. Well, apparently, Burton originally didn't want to direct this film, although Warner Bros. Developed a script with Sam Hamm, which had Penguin and Catwoman going after hidden treasure. But Burton agreed to return after they granted him more creative control and replaced him with Daniel Waters. So, anyway, and Wesley Strick was later chosen to update the final screenplay shortly before filming. And also, before I get into the story, I've read here Annette Bening was originally cast as Catwoman but became pregnant and was replaced by Pfeiffer. So, if you're ready, let's get into the story. On Christmas Day, Gotham City socialites Tucker and Esther Cobblepot become the parents of a deformed baby boy named Oswald, believing that Gotham's high society would not welcome their baby due to his appearance and wild demeanor. The Cobblepots confine Oswald to a cage and ultimately throw him into the sewer, where he is discovered by a family of penguins underneath the old Gotham Zoo. 33 years later, millionaire and philanthropist Max Schreck proposes to build a power plant to supply Gotham with energy, though he is opposed by the mayor. During Schreck's speech, Gotham comes under attack by a disgraced former circus troupe known as the Red Triangle Circus Gang. Though Gotham's vigilante protector Batman intervenes and manages to fight the criminals off, Schreck is abducted and taken to the sewer, where he meets the gang's secret leader, Oswald himself, now going by the name Penguin. Oswald blackmails Schreck with evidence of his corporate crimes, which he had disposed of in the sewer, into helping him return to the surface to a high social standing, and he accepts. Meanwhile, Shrek's secretary, Selena Kyle, discovers that the power plant is actually meant to drain Gotham of its energy, which will bring the city under Shrek's control, after which Shrek will essentially be untouchable by the authorities. Shrek pushes her out of a window attempting to kill her, but she survives the fall when a group of cats unintentionally revive her and vows revenge, taking up the mantle of Catwoman. Oswald makes his presence known by rescuing the mayor's baby from a staged kidnapping attempt and requests to be allowed into the Hall of Records to find his parents. Batman's alter ego, Bruce Wayne, voices his suspicions about Oswald's true motives and investigates his background and connection to the Red Triangle Circus Gang, discovering that the troupe had been shut down years ago due to children going missing during their performances and the disappearance of one specific member before interrogation, whom Bruce suspects to be Oswald. During a meeting with Shrek to voice his own opposition to the power plant, Bruce meets Selena and the two become attracted to one another. In order to remove his enemy, Shrek pushes for Oswald to run for mayor and discredit the current mayor by having the Red Triangle Circus Gang wreak havoc on the city. Batman intervenes and meets Catwoman as she attempts to sabotage one of Shrek's businesses. The two fight and injure each other before Catwoman escapes. She swears revenge on Batman by allying with Oswald, who also has plans to kill Batman as part of his own schemes. As Bruce and Selina begin a romantic relationship, Oswald abducts Gotham's Ice Princess and kills her, framing Batman for the act, as well as causing the Batmobile to rampage throughout Gotham before Batman narrowly manages to regain control and escape the authorities. When Catwoman rejects his advances, Oswald breaks off their partnership and attempts to kill her, but she survives after falling into a greenhouse. During the chase, Batman records Oswald's dis- disparaging, if I mispronounce that, I do apologize, remarks about the people of Gotham and later plays them during his next speech, destroying his image and forcing him to return to the sewer where he renounces his immunity and reveals his plan to abduct and kill all of Gotham's firstborn sons as revenge for what his parents did to him. At a charity ball hosted by Shrek, Bruce and Selina meet and discover each other's secret identities. The Penguin appears and reveals his plan, intending to take Shrek's son Chip with him, but Shrek gives himself up in his son's stead. Alright, now for the ending. You know the procedure, 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. Batman foils the kidnappings and heads for the Penguin's lair. The Penguin attempts to have his army of penguins bomb the city and kill everyone in Gotham. Though Batman and his butler Alfred jam the signal and order the Penguins to return to the sewer, Batman arrives and confronts the Penguin. In the ensuing fight, the Penguin falls through a window into the sewer's toxic water after accidentally launching the bombs on the zoo. Shrek escapes, but is confronted by Catwoman, who intends to kill him. Batman pleads for Selina to stop, unmasking himself in the process. Shrek draws a gun and shoots them both, but Selina survives several gunshot wounds, citing 9 lives, and electrocutes herself and Shrek with a stun gun, causing a massive explosion. Bruce, who was wearing body armor, finds Shrek's remains, but Selina is nowhere to be found. The Penguin emerges from the water and tries to shoot Bruce from behind, but dies from his injuries and from the toxic sewage before his Penguin family lays his body to rest in the water. In the aftermath, as Alfred drives him home, Bruce sees Selina's silhouette in an alley, but only finds her cat as a farewell gift, who he decides to take home with him. The bat signal appears in the sky as Catwoman, who survived, watches. End of story. So what did I think of Batman Returns? Well, as much as I like the original film, well, not original, but the first film, I actually like this film. This film is very good and what have you. It mostly got good response, but it did have a little bit of criticizing and what have you. Anyway, it was released on June 19th, 1992, and went on to make $266 million worldwide. The reviews were mostly positive, praising the action sequences, the performances, the score, once again done by Danny Elfman, as well as the effects and villains. But unfortunately, its PG-13 rating was criticized due to the dark tone and violence. Oh well. Still, this would still be This was still a good movie, though. Now, but unfortunately, this would be Michael Keaton's final performance. However, he is set to reprise that role in the DCEU's Batgirl film, which is coming up. And then The Flash will follow. And they'll pick up directly from Batman Returns in this regard the events of the two films that were done by the late great Joel Schumacher, which followed with Batman Forever in 1995 and Batman Robin, which also recently celebrated its anniversary last month as well. But I decided not to re-review either of those two, even though those two did get over for 10 views, but I decided not to, so anyway. Nevertheless, I still got to enjoy it, and I really liked it, and what have you. Now, actually, the same year that later on that same year, that Warner Bros. Had actually would soon put out Batman the Animated Series, which would premiere on the Fox network, which I do like that show, and it is pretty good. But anyway, as for our characters, I really enjoyed Michael Keaton once again playing Bruce Wayne and Batman. Very good. Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, was played by Danny DeVito, who was absolutely really good. Apparently, he was suggested for the role by his friend Jack Nicholson, who recently played the Joker in the previous film. Now, actually, Dustin Hoffman was originally the first choice to play him, but he declined. But a ton of others were up for that role. Marlon Brando, John Candy, Bob Hoskins, Ralph Waite, Dean Martin, Dudley Moore, Alan Rickman, John Goodman, Phil Collins even. Wow. Charles Grodin, Christopher Lee, Joe Pesci, Ray Liotta, Gabriel Byrne, Alex Rocco, and even Christopher Lloyd were all considered for the part before the VO guy. Wow. Now, as for Michelle Pfeiffer playing Selena Kyle in Catwoman, I'm going to say she did an exceptionally good job. Yeah. Actually, according to Robert Wool, who played Alexander Knox in the previous film, Pfeiffer was actually considered to play Vicky Vale in the first film. But of course, that went to Kim Basinger. Because they didn't get it since Michael Keaton objected due to his past relationship with her. There were many other actors who were also considered for the role, including Susan Sarandon, Meryl Streep, who was considered too old by Byrne, Brooke Shields, whom Byrne considered not bankable, Demi Moore, and Nicole Kidman, who ended up playing Dr. Chase Marie in Batman Forever. Let's see, Sean Young, who had initially been cast as Vicky Vale in the first film, but for having to drop out after a horse riding injury was one of them. So others that were initially up for it were Jodie Foster, Gina Davis, Sigourney Weaver, Lena Olin, Madonna, Raquel Welch, Cher, Ellen Barkin, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Lorraine Bracco, Bridget Fonda, and Jennifer Beals. Now, Christopher Walken plays Max Schreck, and I think he was very good. Really a good character. Now, others who have returned in this include Michael Gough as Alfred, returning, and Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon. Now, along with Gough, they were the only two to actually appear in the Schumacher films. Then we have Michael Murphy as the mayor, who was really good. Vincent Schiavelli plays the organ grinder, a member of the Red Triangle Circus Gang. And there's lots of others and what have you. Playing the Cobblepots were Paul Rubens as Tucker, of course. We all know Paul Rubens, who was, of course, more recently best known for playing a certain Pee Wee Herman, which, of course, this had been just been a little over a year after his show had ended due to, well, I think you know why. I think you know the story about what happened. Yeah, well, apparently Burgess Meredith, who played the Penguin in the Batman TV series, was originally asked to play the character, but he declined due to his health problems, which culminated with his death 5 years later. And Rubens later reprised his role as the Penguin's father in the second season of Gotham, though he was named Elisha Vandal and set in a different continuity. Diane Salinger played Esther Cobblepot. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, and there's a host of others. But anyway, this film was pretty good. Well, it does have a good score from Danny Elfman, but it doesn't have that big of a soundtrack like its predecessor did, with it having songs from Prince. But overall, I think Batman Returns was good. Again, it would be a success. It would get featured in comics and what have you. There'd also be numerous video games and what have you. I actually do have both the NES and SNES games, both made by Konami. Which the Super Nintendo version I think is more cooler and what have you. And I don't get me wrong, I do like the NES version, but for certain reasons. But the SNES version is better because it has a great feel, atmosphere and what have you, and its music sounds close to the way Danny Elfman's score sounds and what have you. But anyway, enough said about it. So with a great cast, a great story, and let's see, great effects and characters and a great score from Danny Elfman. Would I recommend Batman Returns? The answer is easily hell yeah. Definitely check out Batman Returns. And I think if you like the first film, then you'll enjoy this one just as much. So let me know what you think about Batman Returns in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you my re-review of another film I was supposed to do a re-review of last month, and that'll be Disney's animated film, The Rescuers. So thanks for watching, and if you like this, consider checking out some of these other videos and what have you that I've done for Batman. If you want some more Batman Returns, you can see my reviews for the games and what have you. In the upper left-hand corner is my review for the NES Batman game. Plus, I also did reviews for the Sega games, which I've never played. The upper right-hand corner, excuse me, I got carried away here. The right-hand corner is, my review of the Super Nintendo game, one of my earlier videos before I did the other consoles. Or if you would like, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of the more recent film of the Caped Crusader in The Batman, which I just recently got on Blu-ray. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time on the Big D saying, see ya.